Mr. Provost and everyone get their food?
We're good.
We are?
We're exhausted. Well, I think he's putting his dog there. A sad day in the Gessner household. Yep.
Yeah, we got
That's, like I said, it's 8 minutes and we'll leave it up for discussion.
So they must have had Okay, good afternoon. It's 12:05, and I want to call the meeting to order of the Kankakee County NAACP Law Enforcement meeting, Wednesday, February 26th. And we wanted to ascertain those who are currently present, and we're going to start with Mr. Redenius, going to his right.
Doug Redenius, felony court bailiff.
Chief Don Barber, Bradley PD.
Al Swinford, Manteno Police Chief.
Andy Basting, Lieutenant, Kankakee County Sheriff's Office.
Riley Petrowski, Bradley PD. Adrian Provost, Deputy Chief, Bradley PD.
Mr. Breach?
Chris Breach, Daily Journal.
Myron Riley, Kankakee County's response team.
Rhonda Showers, Mental Health Network, and the response team.
Donnell Austin, Deputy Chief, Kankakee Police.
Chief Kidwell?
Chris Curtis, Mayor Kankakee.
Natalie Ojeda, Senator Joyce's office and Hispanic Partnership.
County Board, NAACP, Hispanic Partnership.
Paulette Crank, Secretary for the NAACP. Celeste Ross, the Kankakee First Responders Team.
Okay, Theodis Pace, President of the NAACP, Kankakee County.
Mike Downey, Kankakee County Sheriff.
All right, again, I want to thank everyone for your attendance. We have minutes from our December 4th meeting, and I'd just like to get a motion to accept. There's no action item, just all information only. Meeting was called to order at 12 p.m. and ended at 12:57. Can I get a motion to accept those minutes? Moved by Mr. Hunter, second by Ms. Crank. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed, motion carried. Thank you. Dr. Calvin, Rhonda, or I saw Debbie Case here. Was there any report from the last response team meeting? Any? Who?
Celeste has the update.
Oh,
What was the question again?
what was the update from the last response team meeting?
It wasn't too much. We didn't, the last response team that I attended that I can explain up was the one that you were at.
Oh, that was a training with Mr. Baster. So I think we probably had, 10, 15 individuals that that actually was trained, and there was a number of new individuals that was being trained from the response team. So, okay, thank you. Dr. Calvin, you want to give your update, information on May 7th?
Yes.
Use the microphone, please.
So May 7th.
All right. Hello? Okay. All right. So May 7th, we are sending out invitations for Kankakee Community College's Law Enforcement Day. And it's not just for students this year. It's for professionals and community members also. So if you'd like to set up a booth, I would love to see the NAACP also there, so that students can engage with you also. So if you can, I will send you an email on it, and if you can respond back to me, and we'll get you a table to set up also.
So that's again, May 7th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Is there any particular room, Dr. Calvin?
Say it one more time.
Is there any particular location on campus is being held?
I'll give you all that information if you give me your email. I'll send you everything.
Okay, all right, thank you. Yeah.
Pose a question to you. I know Kankakee City, in the past 3 years, 4 years, et cetera, they have enhanced the diversity in that department. More women, more people, women of color. I think we have the first, I'm sorry, lieutenant or sergeant, Kankakee City. Are you interfacing with, every time I see Dr. Davis or Dr. Yates, I always tell them they're doing a hell of a job in terms of reflecting the community's reflection on the police department. Do you interface with those guys at all in terms of trying to make sure that some of your students, really push? And I know they're taking these law enforcement classes, but are you pushing them to become cops in the county?
Yes, I am. I am pushing them to become police officers, but I do have some students that want to be lawyers or forensic sciences. However, the age is the problem right now. Like I said, the upcoming years, in the next 2 years, they will reach that age to where they can test. I do have some individuals who have tested for the corrections here locally. But other than that, I only have one Hispanic student that has tested for Chicago PD, and he's just waiting for a response.
Thank you.
Good thing. Also, I just want to remind everyone, this meeting is on YouTube, is being taped, and so for those individuals who, at times want to know what we're doing, they can go on the county site and actually see the number of meetings that we've held.
And that's why I reiterate to talk into the microphone, otherwise they won't pick you up.
Absolutely. So, we're going to move down to, I know, another update on our body cams and also departmental training. And I think there was a discussion in our December meeting about consent to search, a traffic stop. And also, I'll get with, I think, Chief Swinford, Mr. Hunter, Lieutenant Mason, and Sheriff Downing. And also, maybe we'll also include Dr. Edwards for the re-signing. There's a number of other municipalities across the state are revisiting signing the 10-share principles because of the different changes in administration. So that's something we might want to revisit. So with that, Chief Barber, can you just give us an update, training, body cam, and traffic stop, and also Chief Swinford and also Chief Kidwell, in that order.
Yeah, our body cams are running fine. We're in the process now looking at maybe updating the old version we have because they're coming to their time of life, I think, in the next year or so. Our departmental training is ran by Lieutenant Mason, who now, we also have it's kind of put on a lot of the officers now individually to get feedback on when they're expiring and stuff like that. So we're looking at doing more in-house trainings because there's not enough training out there to support each department to get the mandates done by the time that they expire. So, and the consent to search, I guess I don't know where that's headed, but so I guess I'm lost on that issue on what you want from that, but.
Well, it actually came from the chairperson for the state NAACP Criminal Justice Committee, and it was something regarding in Jacksonville and McDonough County. Where is Western Illinois? That is in Macomb.
Harvard of the Midwest.
Yeah, something coming out of that particular area about consent and Springfield regarding traffic stops. So
That was that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking that this is dealing with the odor of cannabis
Oh, okay.
and the
Yeah.
consent to search.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd read something on that probably a day or two ago on the burnt cannabis smell and so forth, but, you know, the only thing I will say and remind you, consent to search is a lot different than probable cause, so, you know, we don't need your consent to if we have probable cause. So I'd have to read more onto it to see what was going on with it, but.
Okay. Chief Swinford?
Same body cameras are up and running. We recently upgraded to the newest one. The biggest challenge we had with the old one was the battery would not last an entire shift. So we'd have officers 5 or 6 hours into their shift and their body cam doesn't work, so they'd have to swap it out or whatever, but the new ones are much better. The biggest challenge I think we have with those now is freedom of information requests for body camera video. They're challenging because it's got its own set of laws, and trying to decipher who can and can't get it and how you're going to get it to them is kind of a pain. But just like most freedom of information requests are kind of a pain, but and burdensome on the departments.
Chief Kidwell?
Yeah, we've had our body camera since 2021. We've had no issues. We do replace the batteries. We had to do that. As far as training, we're up to date on our training through the Illinois Training Standard Board. Commander Klopp's handling that. So there's no issues there. Actually, our training's really paid off. As you know, we had another gunshot victim this past weekend, and the training that the officers have received, especially the more like combat training as far as medical stuff, I really contribute, if that gentleman does survive, to the training that our officers received. They applied a tourniquet, they applied, I believe, 3 chest compression seals, and they packed a lot of wounds. So very, very proud of them, and I think our training is paying off.
Yeah, I just want to, I would have to, I'd be remiss if I didn't make this statement, but Chief Kidwell, you guys, your department, Deputy Chief Austin, how you guys continue to inform us of what actually transpiring in the community with Chief Barber and Swinford. But how many of your gunshot wounds that your staff have actually applied their training to those victims who've been actually shot and your officers arriving on the scene?
I mean, I can't put a number on it, but I know if these officers see bleeding, or if they know they need to apply a tourniquet, they're doing it. I mean, they've got gauze. I just got another big package of all that for them for that reason, because I mean, we actually are running out of medical supplies. So I did connect with St. Mary's. They provided me with a lot of medical supplies. So I mean, we're doing everything we can in these incidents, and I really think it's paying off, and I think we're saving lives.
Well, I just want to thank you, because from Sunday, Saturday, over on Rosewood, instantly, with the gunshots. So I just want to applaud you with that. But I want to go back with.
Let me just add to what Chief Kidwell said, because I think he's right. I think it's difficult to put a number on it, but I can, even from our department, I know our department has used those chest compression, and I know that we've used tourniquets a number of times, and so there's no way to tell whether or not that tourniquet or the other things that saved their lives, if that contributed to it. We assume it did, but I mean, they are, and it goes countywide. I mean, it's city, it's us, it's Bradley, it's Bourbonnais, it's all the municipalities, because we're all training together. As you guys know, we meet every third Wednesday, so we're all in the same room, And I think that's a credit to everybody, all the police agencies in the county that, you know, we all work together, we all talk, we all train together. So, I mean, I think that's a huge benefit for our community.
So, Sheriff, can you just add regarding, you know, going back to the consent and search? So if an officer, you know, smell marijuana, is, again with Chief Barber, is that, that's a probable
So,
cause to
no,
stop?
it's not.
Or
Anymore, it's not.
That's, okay, I just want to get.
But the state's attorney would certainly talk about it better than I would.
Okay. All right.
But, no, that's, I mean, there's court cases, and ironically, there's court cases that actually contradict each other. So, you know, that's still something that's up in the court, but as Chief Barber said, there's a huge difference between consent and probable cause. And if you tell a police officer that he can search your car, well, that's consent, so, you know, your car is gonna get searched.
So have that been, I would say, has that been a problem for the 3 municipalities and the sheriff department with, I mean, to distinguish between the two?
I don't think it has been. I think our officers use very good discretion, and you know, they usually look for more than just smell. I mean, it depends on if it's burnt cannabis or raw cannabis. I mean, they have to, you know, put a lot of thought into it. So, but I haven't received any complaints. I think they're using good discretion. I think they're doing what they're supposed to do.
I would agree. I mean, and again, any sort of consent or any search for probable cause is gonna be on body camera. So if there's an issue, you just go back to the body camera.
Okay, all right. The last item of, under item, it would be item E under 5. We would like for each municipality, our sheriff department, I don't know, Sheriff, I think you know Bob Moore. So Bob is the chairperson, and also Deputy Chief Austin is the chairperson for the Illinois State Conference NAACP Criminal Justice Committee. I'd like for everyone to add to your calendar September 26th through 28th, particularly the 26th and 27th, Quality Inn, Bradley, Illinois. The NAACP State Convention will be hosted by the Kankakee branch. Our Criminal Justice Committee wants to do, Dr. Edwards, some things that are quite unique. We want the assimilator. We want each one of our state branch presidents to be able to participate in that particular event. So I know the sheriff, maybe Chief Barber, Swinford, Kitwell, I want you guys to converse with Bob, and where we can be able to formulate a workshop for the citizens in Kankakee County. It's open to the public. Also, each one of, let me just say this, majority of our workshops, State's Attorney Rowe, along with Judge Jones and Drew, is put on a workshop. That particular workshop, those individuals who will be attending will get PLEs, credit. A number of our lawyers will need those kind of continuing ed credits. Other workshops involve KCC will get continuing ed credits. So again, we open up, there's an event on Thursday night, Thursday, September the 25th, where the convention is kicked off. Friday morning, we have AFL-CIO, the president. There will be a labor breakfast, so we want all the different local unions to be at the breakfast. Our registration kicks off 8 or 9 o'clock. So Friday, Saturday, and we close up on Sunday, the 28th. So it's going to be an array of very unique workshops. So looking for your participation. Our response team, majority of us are already aware. We've had a number of branches just to come to this meeting to see how we do things here. And so we want to do something regarding that workshop. And again, it is very prevalent that we get as many of our members, particularly our branch presidents, Sheriff Downing, Chief Swinford, in that simulate, for them to really experience that 3 to 5 seconds on what type of decisions have to be made. So I just want to say that. So where are we in hiring? Everybody's pretty much staffed up?
We're down a few officers, so I've got 3 in the academy, I've got 2 in field training, and I'm hoping to send 3 or 4 to the next academy in May, so we're working on it. I mean, it's just hard to, you got guys retire and some guys, take lateral positions elsewhere, so, but we're down a few right now.
Okay. Chief Barber?
Yeah, we're up to full staff so far, but we do anticipate 3 retirements in the next year, so we'll be testing here in November, I believe. is when it
Chief
started.
Swinford?
A few, we got 1 in field training, 2 in the academy, and we'll send at least 1 more to the next academy, and then we have at least 1 retirement coming this year, so we'll be hiring for the foreseeable future anyway.
Okay, so again, Wednesday, May 7th, Dr. Edwards is having her Law Enforcement Day State Convention, September 26th through the 28th. And at this time, and our next meeting is Wednesday, the 23rd of April, 12 noon, and I'm going to turn the meeting over to Sheriff Downing at this time.
All right, real quick, and this is, we're going to show a video, and I'm not going to preface it much. All I'm going to tell you is that this is the first police officer who responded to that double homicide on New Year's Day. And I'm just going to leave it at that. More or less just to show what police, when they respond to an incident like this, what they're dealing with. We always kind of see the aftermath, but we never see what leads up to it. And to show, I think somebody mentioned redaction, and I think Chief Swinford mentioned all the redaction that you have to do. This video is redacted heavily. Obviously, we've redacted faces out of the video. The video was reviewed by State's Attorney Jim Rowe, who said it's okay to show it, but we just want to show this approximately 8-minute video. Obviously, the law enforcement administrators in the room are aware of these issues, but I think it's important for everybody to see this. And if I can figure my way through this computer, we'll get it going. So the sound won't go on for about 30 seconds, but it's also subtitled, so you'll be able to read some of the things that are going on in case you can't hear it.
Also, Sheriff, don't go through it. Dr. Gilbert, take it.
Good, I can turn this last one off if that. Nope, it's not good. No, I can't.
Who's hit? 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 Are you you hot? Are you hit? Are you hit? Oh, no, yes, you're hit. You're Can't we're gonna need multiple ambulances on scene.
I can't even feel my arm,
Here, go to my car. Go to my car, miss. Yep. I don't see anything. Go to my car. We got an ambulance coming. Go to my car. Go to my car. Right there. That one right there. Wait for city units. We got ambulances. Who's hit? CANCOM, we've got, looks like 3 hit right now. Is he hit? Where we hit him? All right, back up. Hey, back up. Clear the scene. Clear. Everybody get out of here now. Hey, bud, where you hit at?
All right, back up. Right here, hold the pressure.
I got him. 3, another female shot over there. Guys, I need you all to back up. Get out of here. Okay, hold pressure on that.
Hold the pressure, y'all. Hold the pressure. Oh my God. Where is she hit? Hold it. I don't know. Right there.
Everybody, back. Guys, back. Everybody, back. Push everybody back.
Man, where the ambulance at, man?
He's hit. I need you back. I need you back.
Hurry up, man. You take too fucking.
I got an ambulance coming, bro.
I ain't mad at you.
I understand, dude.
Fuck that. Let me get that one. Give me that one.
Push that. Put that on there.
Where is that? Lift
In
the
his
shirt
back.
on.
In his back. There you go. Pack this on there. Put that on there.
Shine the light, y'all.
Get some light. Hold that on. Hold pressure on there. You got a nurse. Where's their nurse? It's the nurse group. Ma'am, I need you to step back, okay? Here's some more.
Shine the light. Let me see your light. You gotta hold that pressure, man. I got it.
Guys, I need you back. Everyone back. City units, where are you at? Back everybody up! Everybody, back up! I need you to go, man. I understand. I need you to go.
Where the fuck is the guard at?
She's holding pressure.
I need that guard.
Everybody, back up.
Tell me there's more victims in the house.
Jesus Christ. Is there anybody hurt in the house? Is there anybody shot in here? Yeah, everybody. All right, come on. there anybody back here hurt? Is there anybody else? Just one hurt back here?
Start pulling people out.
Everybody, hey guys, I need everybody out of the house.
I know, but keep my mans up out of here.
We're doing everything we can. I can't do that until I get everybody out of here.
When you see my mans, you will think.
I understand. I can't get an ambulance in here until everybody's out.
Don't touch my mans. Hey, look, bro, this is his house, bro.
Guys,
Don't touch him, bro.
listen, guys.
This is his house.
I can't get an ambulance in here until you guys are out.
This is his house.
Guys, we have Listen. I can't get an ambulance in here until you guys are out. I can't. Hey, stop. Listen, I'm trying to help your guys. I'm trying to help your guys. I'm trying to help.
Don't touch my mans no more.
I'm trying to help your guy.
This is my people, though.
I can't help him. I can't help him until everybody's out.
Ain't nobody walking in here.
I can't get an ambulance in here. I can't get an ambulance in here until everybody's out. They won't come in. I'm trying to help. Go out, please. Please, out. Please, out. You gotta go out, please. Please, out. Out, please, out. I need you to go out. I can't get an ambulance in here until you guys are out. That's fine. That's fine. Go. They won't come in until you're gone. They won't come in until you're gone.
So that's what we deal with.
That's what we deal with. Real quick, I just want the record to show that Mayor Curtis, President Ms. Karen Farmer, and Ms. Debbie Case have come in. Questions of what you just seen?
I don't have a question.
Comments?
I would like to commend you guys. I would, because I seen officers doing their jobs, at least trying. I think what you guys got here, Mr. Pace, we kind of talked about it the last meeting, me and you. We had talked about a few things. I just lost my son, and it was none of the officers did what I've seen a lot of you guys do. And I think that I think our officers can really teach. We talked about Danville. That's the conversation we had. So many of our police don't know what to do and don't do. But I commend you guys, because I've seen you guys. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. It really was. It was embarrassing. That's what it was. It was embarrassing.
Rhonda?
Can I just kind of offer a just understanding of trauma and the brain, and how even everyone at that party had been through a severe traumatic event, and the science shows that they're using a very different part of their brain in that moment. And the funding for deregulation skills for police, or sending out people that can help people, witnesses and victims, use as much of the normal day part of their brain as they can to respond to commands. You can see that they're not even hearing the officer. And to be able to, there are some resources there, but I'd just like to encourage exploring some of those. That is so impossible. And thank you for all that you do, what you walk into day in and day out.
I would just, a couple things. Number one, I think I appreciate your comments, and sorry for the loss of your child. And this wasn't to show that this officer did well, or this officer did well, or this officer didn't do well. This was to show that this isn't a unique situation. This happens at every shooting, whether it's whatever municipality it's in. And as we talked before, the training that our guys go through locally, I don't think you would get much of a different response from the officers on any other call from any municipality. And I think to your point, the issue about not responding and they can't respond because of the trauma, the only part I would question about that are the ones who are standing there with their phones videotaping. That's a frustration level that, it's so hard, and you heard the officer the deputy ultimately get upset because he had one goal. He wanted to get to who's ever hurt and get him treated. And we couldn't do that. And it's the ambulance's policy, and fire, check me, or I know fire's not here, but check me if I'm wrong, they won't go into a place until it's clear. And because obviously there was 5 people shot in that building or in that house that had who knows how many participants. Police were at the house earlier that evening to quiet it down because there was a noise complaint. We actually, and I don't pay too much attention to social media, but somebody this morning mentioned that there were people on social media saying that police should have shut this party down when we went there the first time, and these guys wouldn't have been shot and they wouldn't have been killed. Well, let me tell you something. If police go into that house and shut it down for noise, what do you think the response is going to be? So, yeah, it's frustrating, and I mean it's something that our guys deal with, and when you talk about trauma, our guys see it every day, and I would just question everybody with their cell phones out, wanting to get good video, and the other threats of I'm going to beat your ass or F you or I'm going to F you up. I mean, our guys are going in. Every police officer went in that house, not knowing who still had a gun. So I just would, again, there's a lot to talk about this, but, that's what our guys deal with. Mr. Hunter had something.
Things, and thanks very much, you guys, for your comments. But, I think Ray Charles is dead and buried 6 feet under, saw what was going on in terms of the bedlam and chaos on that video. And, kudos to law enforcement. Thank God that we live where we live now in Kankakee County, because I've born and raised here in this town, and I'm here to tell you that there have been, from a historical perspective, law enforcement and people of color haven't always had a hunky-dory relationship, and that has evolved. And in terms of law enforcement opens the opportunity for the NAACP and the response team to go in and take a look at reports, videos, body cams, interview the hierarchy in the respective police departments, and that hadn't happened before. I remember being in college and getting phone calls from people saying that Kankakee City, that black folks in prominent positions were sprayed with whatever that stuff is they spray on them, and it was bedlam because of that. But I'm just here to tell you, look what they have to contend with. In a situation like that, the mayor indicated there was 50 people at that party, and trying to maintain some semblance of control. I don't know if anybody could do that.
So, Sheriff, Chief Kitwell, and Mr. Baston, because you've trained most of our response team members. So, one, the response team wasn't called, correct? Chief Kitwell? And my other question was, but then, Mr. Baston, you think how would the response team with Rhonda and others, what could they have possibly done, Sheriff? And since we all know the training, but, you know, you've been the instructor over this period of time.
Well, I don't know that the response team would, they're not a critical emergency response to where they're not going to be on scene within the first half hour or something along those lines. You know, the whole idea of this, and correct me if I'm wrong, was to kind of quell civil unrest that is
Right.
possibly going to happen in the
That's
future
what I wanted you to
from,
say.
from
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So by the time the response team would be notified of this and be able to respond to something, I mean, that scene would be secured. You know, detectives would be on scene, probably already processed. The scene would probably already be shut down by the time they're learning and able to respond to something. So I don't necessarily know that that scene would be beneficial to them or anything like that.
And then just a FYI, Chief Kidwell, so where are we with that investigation, pretty much?
Well, we've interviewed probably 30-plus people. We still don't have any witness, you know, come up and tell us that they actually seen what happened. We have a very good idea what happened based on all the interviews that we've done, but, I mean, that's hearsay. Until we get somebody that can come up and tell us what happened and is willing to testify, then we're at a stalemate, and that's where we're at right now. We put a $30,000 reward out. Sheriff, the mayor, other municipalities, Bradley, Bourbonnais, I believe Mantino may have helped too, but I mean, everybody reached out trying to solve this. We tried to motivate the public or people that were there to come forward, and we're still waiting. And
Anyone else?
I agree with Lieutenant Basin. That was not the time for the crisis response team. I mean, it was a bad scene when we were there, but once the victims were out of there, the crowd dispersed. I mean, it was, once we got the victims, the gunshot victims out of there, by the time you guys got there, you know, it wasn't like when we
I
called
got you.
before, we have, you know, we got a situation where we got bodies inside that
3
are.
homicides at St. Mary's. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's just so much different. It's, you're comparing apples and oranges at the scene.
Okay.
And let me reiterate one thing. You noticed that the deputy, even though it happened in the city, there was a deputy there first. We were there earlier, so our deputies were kind of floating around the outskirts of the city. In fact, we had one on Maple. The one who responded was actually on Maple, which is very close to where the house is on Pearson Parkway. City, obviously, was New Year's Eve. City had their guys out around, so they were dealing with other issues going on too. So once the call came out, our guy happened to get there first, and then city responded shortly after. You heard the deputy ask where the city guys were. They were there, but so it wasn't like nobody showed up. Everybody was there.
Any other comments?
This may be a good tool for the convention. You know, you may want to talk to Bob Morgan. This is very educational.
Well, I mean, I'm just going to do an introduction between them with the sheriff and Chief Barbara, Chief Kidwell, Deputy Chief, and Chief Swinford and Baston, so with Bob.
Mr. President, let me just ask you real briefly. I know we got Kankakee City, Bradley, and Mantino here, and I know, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I've often heard Mayor Curtis indicate that our shootings in Kankakee City are down. Could we have plus we need to probably hear something from the sheriff too in terms of overall crime stats, up, down, trends?
I mean, obviously, we have some that we put together. We have our annual stats. We can compare them. You know, the problem is now we're comparing post-Safety Act, pre-Safety Act, so things will be a little bit skewed. But, yeah, we certainly have the numbers of where we're at. And just off the top of my head from what we've looked at before, the offenses that are increasing the most are basically property crimes, the auto thefts, the burglaries, the thefts, because they're not detainable, so they're not keeping them in jail.
From a city, yeah, they're trying to, as the sheriff mentioned and Chief there was a different way, I guess, till 2 years ago, we started tracking major crimes, and those were numbers that were above 1,000, got down to 859. Now the way the reporting system is, it says it's in the thousands because of the different way they have to report to the FBI and different things. But overall, major crimes in the city of Kankakee are down about 15.3% since 2021. Shootings are down about 53%. Shots fired was a high of about, I believe it was 774 in 2021. Last year it was 359. Still, I've always said, way too many, but it's a 50+% decrease over 3 years. Homicides was 3 last year. I think we were at 11 in 2021, Chief? We were at 4 the year before. We were 3 last year. Of the 3 homicides last year, they were all shooting victims. But all 3, the suspect has been identified, and 2 of the 3 have been arrested, and the 3rd one is still being sought after. The one statistic that has remained pretty stable or actually increased last year is victims shot. In 2021, I believe we had 50 plus. 54 were shot in 2021. That number increased down to 29. It did get down to 25 in 23. Last year it went back up to 29. But it's still a far cry from the 50 that we saw 3 years ago. And then the other statistic that I track regularly is illegal firearms, people that are not supposed to have them. That still hovers with KMEG and with the city. If you combine those numbers, they average pretty close to 190 to 200 plus on an annual basis for the last 3 years of removing those guns off the street.
Chief.
Yeah, so our crime rate's pretty much stayed stable. We have had about 1 homicide a year. They've all been domestic related. We do have the people in custody. Unfortunately, that's just the way it happened. Our domestics have went up somewhat, our theft, but we're kind of the retail hub of the county, so we expect that to go up and down. And like the sheriff said, no one's holding any of these people, so no matter what we do, felony thefts or not, they're back on the street the next day and back out doing what they need to do to get whatever fix they're looking for. So it's kind of tough to do it.
So Chief Kidwell, $30,000 reward, and over 50 individuals in the house.
Correct. And we still don't have anyone to come forward and say they saw what happened.
Wow. So, so where are we with the Safety Act? Natalie, can you help us from senator perspective?
I can. Right now, there is no current legislation that has been filed that would increase any penalties for those items that I mentioned, to be able to hold those individuals in jail. I did post two pending. There's current legislation to allow legalize prostitution, and there's pending legislation to decriminalize mushrooms. That obviously the Sheriff's Association has come out in opposition of, but nothing regarding any sort of enhancement sentencing or any other legislation that would change the Safety Act for the better.
Yeah. Wow. You know, I tell you, the concept and the intent, the purpose of this meeting, as we go back, how far, Sheriff, Chief Swinford, when we started talking about the response team, that was back Ferguson, right? what was that, 2014. So we've been doing this since almost 11 years. And so I think the outcome, we've met our goals and objectives, but it's an ever-present tweaking what we're doing and to educate the community. So, I mean, we do the training, response training, Rhonda, mental health. We have our state rep, state senator on board. We have continued to build a bridge between respective communities and law enforcement. I know, I mean, so we have come a long ways, but we just still can't dot the I and cross the T's the way we want. So it's not really reality in the community. So
Our IT guy, Trent, must be watching because he just sent me the shots fired calls for the entire county for the last 5 years. In 2019, there were 592 total calls. That's every municipality. In 2020, there was 758. In 2021, there was 980. In 2022, there was 619. And in 2023, there were 677. So the reduction from 21 in 22 and 23, which was about 300 plus less calls for shots fired, is certainly an improvement. But as the mayor said, one's too many. So
yeah. So closing remarks again. Wednesday, May 7th, Law Enforcement Day. NAACP Convention, 26th through the 28th. Our next meeting is Wednesday, April 23rd. Dr. Edwards. Your mic.
Does the NAACP training response team have training at KCC this weekend? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Am I supposed to be there or no?
I would say yes. So what's the location, Rhonda?
It'll be at KCC, correct? It's at KCC. I'll set the machine up. I'm not for sure if
Okay.
Am I setting the machine or?
I better get in touch with Donna. Thanks for everyone.
Because if I'm
so
running it, or
it's-
unless you are you going to be?
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Riley, can you put your contact information down there, and also Mr. Provost? I know you signed it, but I'd like to have your email, and I can send the email out directly to both of you guys. So it's 12:56. Can we get a motion for adjournment? Moved by Ms. Natalie Ojeda. Yes.
Just on the Hispanic Partnership side, I wanted to thank everybody. I know that with all of the immigration and ICE issues that have come up
Thank you.
lately, I reached out to sheriff and undersheriff a couple times, and also city, because we did have a couple reports that came through. None of them were true. The only one that we were not able to actually get a solid no on was one that came through yesterday. Just because city didn't have this person anywhere in their system. But other than that one, as far as we know, no one has seen ICE. Every report that we've gotten has been like a U.S. Marshal warrant. So we were able to clarify those and then let everyone know that everything was okay. But other than that, we haven't seen any action on our side, so.
and that's what we know as well.
Thank you. So it was moved by Ms. Ojeda, second by Ms. Lester. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. See you April 23rd.
What's up, Karen? Counselor?
Man,
Attorney at law?
12 noon.
Where? Oh, yeah, I was doing some, I had something. I haven't been there before. How's your mom? I've been in the hospital.
afraid. I don't know if they're gonna make it, because we got a high school graduation and a junior high graduation. I think they need to my oldest son, your oldest girl.
You didn't sleep well yesterday. Did you drink last?
Huh?
Did you drink last night?
Drink?
So he'll be up here before I leave. I'm thinking June, July. But he'll be